Namaste, my friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and I help people navigate through their awakening process. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 things that you should know about the September Ascension energies. Number 1 is that you have choices. What I mean by that is that for years, I would stress myself out seeking the right decision, the right choice. What is my purpose? What is my mission? What am I supposed to do? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I've learned that there is no supposed to do. There are choices, there are options, there are no wrong decisions essentially. There is not one path you're supposed to find that is the right one. It's about waking up to your own co-creative power so that you realize that it's of your choosing. What do you want to create? That simple notion, it sounds simple, but it can take a tremendous amount of pressure off you. And it's, in my experience, very much true. I hear all the time people contact me, Victor, such and such and such and such, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. What I've learned is that what always works out at some point in my favor is when I follow my natural, organic, highest excitement in whatever direction it's pointing in every given moment. I'll give an example. About 6 weeks ago, I had what I'll call a download, where I got a wave of intuitive, higher self sort of inspired ideas to create a new program called, I'm going to call it Ascension Body. I'm still going to do it, but I'm a personal trainer. It's a workout and exercise program tailored specifically for people who are physically compromised, who are really battling with the Ascension energies quite a bit. Anyways, I mapped it all out. I had this about an hour session where it was almost like a channeled, this is it, this is perfect, this is exactly how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to set it up. It came from above, so to speak. And then other things happened in my life, and I never quite put that all into practice. And then just the other day, I had this same exact type of experience where it was just this last Saturday. Divinely inspired, higher self-inspired ideas. It flowed, it was magic, and it was for the same thing in a completely different way. It was a totally different channeled set of instructions, as you can say. They're both valid, they both came from my highest self, and they both would be just fine. Now it's a matter of what do I want to do? I'm going to do the second one because it seems more like I can get it done a little bit faster, and it just seems more appropriate and better. It seems like more fitting. But anyway, the point is there is no one way, no one thing. It's about what do you want to do. Your higher self is not going to limit you to one choice all the time. Should I take this job, or should I wait a little while and do some more studying? What do you want to do? What seems the most convenient, the easiest, the most satisfying, and do that. So a lot of our journey, we are being kind of guided through synchronicity, what to do. Well, there comes a point where you start deciding for yourself what to do, and this month I think will help you do that. Number 2 is you might be feeling emotionally sensitive. In particular, sensitive to negative energy, to negativity, to negative people, to negative, dense, disharmonious places. We go through phases where we are more bothered than other times by such external forces. And there's just what at least I can feel, maybe you guys can let me know what you're feeling as well, but I feel a very palpable collective tension and unrest. And you can't blame humanity, you can't blame people. There's a lot going on, a lot of craziness going on in the world with the weather and the storms, and there's a lot of tension. And when there's a collective tension, people are more on edge, more egoic, more quick to temper. And it just seems, whether you're seeing anyone temper or not, there is just an intensity to regular people. And being someone who's super sensitive all the time to begin with, and then when everyone's sort of on edge, you can feel it. And it can be sometimes difficult to discern you and your own energy field and body versus other people, because it all kind of blends in. We're all connected, and you are a part of other people's negative energy fields, unfortunately. But that's okay. It's just it's a time to practice that skill. A lot of people ask me, like, how do I not absorb people's energy? How do I not be so sensitive? And I always tell them it just takes practice and experience and personal. It's about how to be. It's like a fine internal subtle dance that you just get better at and develop more mastery at as you go forth. And now, the way I'm going to choose to look at this situation, because I'm feeling it too, is I'm going to look at it as an opportunity to really practice that, to develop a higher level of mastery. Because I don't like the attitude of feeling like the victim. Like, if people are negative, I'm going to stay in. I don't like that. I want to be free in my reality. So to do that, maybe I have to up my empath skills and become better at holding my space. And that's what I'm going to do this time around. Number 3, it's a great time to practice presence. It's a great time to cultivate the meditative state. You might find it'll help you a lot with the sensitivity and the world chaos right now. You might find it essential, at least I do. I find that it's very easy to get sucked into the drama of the world, of my ego, and at this point, it's not natural to be in spiritual bliss all the time. I really have to work at it. I really have to practice being mindful. And for whatever reason, after this recent eclipse, I found that I'm able to do it much better. I'm able to achieve a deeper state of consciousness, being awake, being meditative, being present, being mindful. I can do it a little bit more easily now and to a greater degree, I noticed after that eclipse. So I'm going to take advantage of that and really try to optimize that ability. I find that I'm able to do it in as I've gone forth, I've just experienced deeper levels of it, and I feel like we just took a kind of a big jump. So anyways, that's just what I'm doing. Maybe you're not feeling that, but I'm reading this book right now. I keep meaning to bring it to show you guys. Not that it matters, but it's this new teacher I found on YouTube. His name is Mooji, Mooji, and he's like an Eckhart Tolle or an Adyashanti, Alan Watts type of figure. Someone who really embodies that unity consciousness 100% of the time. And he's got this book I've been reading. It's been so helpful. And I'm finding that over the years, as I go back to those types of meditative books, I'm able to enter the now in a deeper way. So anyways, I thought I would share that with you. If nonetheless, it'll certainly help you dealing and staying more present with the what's going on in the world. It'll help you keep your space. So real quick, I didn't really mention what to do. So essentially what I'm saying is it's a great time to start a spiritual practice, to start meditating and cultivating that inner stillness so that you carry it with you throughout your day. Number 4, and I keep saying this, I really feel like this eclipse really woke people up to a greater degree. In fact, it's kind of interesting that for a long time, primarily my viewers were people who I would call light workers, people who really identified with some of the fringe things I talk about, very well aware of it. Now I'm getting, especially for my coaching, a ton of people all of a sudden reaching out to me that are just brand new. I have in my questionnaire, I say, how long have you been going through this? And usually it's like 5 years, 10 years, few years, 18 months. Now it's like 1 day, 3 days, 2 days, yesterday, earlier this afternoon. It's just people are waking up quickly. Anyways, that's not the point of what I was saying. The point of what I was saying, for a lot of you guys who watch me, who have been going through this a while, you might find that some of your, I would say, perception abilities are heightened. Your ability to recognize a soulmate or a past life relationship might be more obvious. I'm finding this in my own life. I'll give it an example. Not too long ago, this guy reached out to me. He's a fellow YouTuber, Aaron Dowdy. And he said, he just reached out to me because we're in the same niche and we got to talking on the phone. And within a few minutes, I knew, not even, instantly pretty much, I recognized this person's energy. I felt an incredible resonance with this guy. Like I knew him from some other life or something. And I had my own kind of assessment in my mind of just a vague, just like my own interpretation of how I knew him. It was sort of not exactly super concrete, but anyway, I had it kind of in my head, never verbalized it. And then he was saying, he kind of verbalized, he sees like a clairvoyant or something, and he said this clairvoyant was telling him that, Victor you guys had like a past life where you were brothers or cousins or something, and you're going to just kind of get in touch randomly throughout the course of your life to kind of help each other out. And that's kind of what we do. There are things I help him with, and there are things he helps me with. We both really have just this genuine care for one another, no competition at all. And that was my exact interpretation of the energy. Like I knew him from somewhere, from some past life or something, and that I just felt in my heart like I just want to help this guy. And I could tell by the way he treats me, he just wants to help me. And we've kind of had this relationship where we don't talk every week or anything. Once a month or so, we'll get on the phone and we'll chit chat for 45 minutes. It's always a very awesome conversation. But anyway, just my ability to perceive the fact that he's connected to me from elsewhere, from other than this current life, is greater. It's more obvious to me. I can look back at many of the relationships in my life and sort of see who I have ties with. It's just easier now. And you might find that to be the case with yourself. A lot of people I work with, they are like floored the first time they meet up with a soulmate relationship because they don't know what to make of it. And it's just something so like undeniable to them. And they wonder like, wow, I'm so drawn to this person, but I'm not attracted to them. I don't really know them. I would never normally choose to engage with them, and yet I have. I approached them and I said, hey, we got to get some, would you like to get some coffee? Sure, okay. And they develop these relationships. But anyway, it's happening now. A lot of people who have been going through this process will find themselves naturally being able to discern energy that they resonate with, strong enough to where they know there's some kind of tie, even if they can't put it into exact terms. Lastly, along with this, you might find a lot of people ask me, how can I contact a spirit guide? How can I do that? How can I contact my ET family? Well, you might find that a bit easier now. I would recommend giving it a try. It really seems like that month is ripe for that sort of relationship to be taken to the next level. Number 5 is just to reemphasize the need for personal balance. I'm finding that if I don't stay balanced, I'm not happy, I'm not productive, and I'm not really coming anywhere near maximizing my potential. We all have goals, we all have things in our life that we want to change, and sometimes there's such an urgency that we feel like we have to just do it all right now, to the point where we neglect our own self, we neglect our health, we neglect our own happiness as a desperate way of rearranging our life situation, thinking that that's going to make us happy. And in a sense, alleviating sources of stress and eliminating them and solving certain problems, yes, that will sometimes, if those don't get done, they will be weighing on you. You have to do that. But I'm finding that you can be a lot happier, and I keep talking about this, but I want to reemphasize it because it's so important that we can be happy as we go through this. That's the one thing it took me a very long time to learn, that I know I could have really had a much smoother ascension process if I would have known that earlier on. So I just want to emphasize that your ability to manifest the life you want, whether it means changing your circumstance or just becoming more enlightened, is dependent upon your ability to radiate and maximize and optimize your energy. You have to really maintain a balanced and positive high state of energy. And a lot of times when we're trying to accomplish something, we can feel that dwindling. We can feel our health declining, our stress building. And that's the point where even though you want to get certain things done, you have to step back and rebalance yourself and then go forward again. And in doing so, even though it might appear like you're taking breaks, you're not doing as much as you would want to, you're actually going to be, what you do when you're full of energy will be so much more efficient and productive that it is in fact the fastest way anyways. And lastly, I just wanted to share with this number 6 here, kind of an extra one I thought about on my drive over here. I wanted to just kind of share my own perspective as I too look out into the world and see a lot of really unsettling things with the weather, especially the fires in the northern, like the Pacific Northwest, the hurricanes, obviously, just devastating hurricanes. It's very real. It's very intense, and it's very easy to look out into the world and get very discouraged and feel hopeless and afraid. And I'm not saying that I can blame anyone for having that, or what I'm going to share is the right way, but I'm just going to share with you the way I see those things. I'm not saying they're right, but it helps me stay balanced and happy and faithful no matter what's going on. The way I see it is that you guys all know who are going through this awakening that there are ups and downs. There are periods of challenges that catalyze growth and release, and thereby allowing you to embody more of your consciousness. But they're not always pleasant. Sometimes they do manifest in your own reality in physical ways. I see you, me, as a microcosm for the collective awakening. It too has its challenges, its contractions, its growth, spiritual growth catalyzing events that, though initially come in the form of problems and chaos, out of that is a wiser, more loving, and higher embodiment version of humanity as a whole. Hurricanes are obviously devastating. In fact, I have a lot of friends. I once lived in Florida. I have a lot of clients and even good friends that are very dear to me living in Florida that I'm very worried about, and I pray for. But I know that what comes out of those things, and we've seen it throughout history, are people banding together. The separation and divisiveness between races and people and ideologies, temporarily at least, are abandoned for the greater good, for the survival of the species, for people. People tend to come together and live more in their heart when faced with those types of situations. And that just might be what humanity needs at this point, to shake them out of their minds and into their hearts. And regardless, I see that I try to look past the initial devastation and to the positive repercussions that, from what I have seen, from where I'm standing, always come to be in the aftermath. So I look out there and I'm not really shaken by it. My heart goes out to the people. I'm not cold or burying my head in the sand, but I have faith. I have a tremendous amount of faith in what's happening, and I sense this all was going to happen anyways. You all can feel the energy and the quality of energy and what it's doing to you. You can imagine how it is going to play out there in the collective. And in my opinion, it's very important to stay grounded and hold our space, the ones who are aware that there is sort of a grand unfoldment occurring. So anyways, that's my take. Take it for what you will. Regardless, have an amazing day. I'm going to bounce. There's a blower over there. I don't want it to mess with the sound. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed the view. It seems to be where it's going to be a sunny day every morning, and I can do my videos here from now on. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have an amazing day. Namaste.